Andy and I set off from the car park and walked into the village of Polperro, ready for a day's walk and stoically accepting the strong likelihood of torrential rain, because that's what the forecast said. And it wasn't wrong.
Well, tucked in the mean streets of Polperro, and our 5th day of consecutive walking. Really got the walking legs back. We're highly threatened by rain today. It's in the air. That's rather snazzy. Sort of shell display there on the side of our whole house. Look at that, that's magnificent. Shell house, got to be called that. Anyway, I've taken an unfeasible dislike to Polperro car park. A ridiculous coins only setup. 12 quid to park for the day, which is also excessive. It's been about £4, £5, £6 elsewhere. 50 pence if you want to pass water in one of the 2 public conveniences. Absolutely disgraceful. These typical Cornish fishing village type alleys, and lovely they are too. Now what? What are you spotted now? Hey? Oh, padlock! So Andy's taken a picture of a padlock safe. Sorry, a key safe. And the local residents thinking, what kind of dodgy activities up to? Just across there, the other side of the harbour is Chapel Point, Chapel Rock. And a building that doesn't look like a chapel at all. Polperro, as you can tell, I have mixed feelings about. Beautiful, but ripping us off. And I couldn't see anywhere where you could buy butter. So I need some butter for a toast in the morning and for my sandwiches during the day. I'm well impressed at this set of benches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, all slightly different designs, all facing away from the sea. There's some wild water swimming action going on. He's put his toe in the water and decided to go back. He says, fuck that for a game of soldiers, it's far too cold. Gone back up the steps. His mate's coming down now and saying, stop being such a pussy and get in there. He said, I'm only going to go in if you go in. So white shorts is now, he's gone straight in. He's got to that critical point where his testicles have just met the water and he's shrieked. They've retracted. Oh, they're both in. They're marvellous scenes at Polperro Harbour. Left Polperro behind and on our way to a place, Talland, which is well known for being the home of 2 TV celebrities, chat show and popular news programmes, breakfast programmes. And I kind of think I've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous in 2 days of walking. The cultural high point yesterday, walking past the home for many years of Daphne du Maurier, who wrote some outstanding stuff. I talked a little bit about Rebecca with Andy, but one of my favourite films of all time, Don't Look Now, was penned by her as a short story. And here, they shall remain nameless. I rather liked her actually. I thought she was fun and interesting and engaging. Much less so him. He's of that vein of presenters on the television who always seem to want to be more important than the people who have actually done something with their lives, who have been interviewed or talked about or criticised rudely and horribly. So from a cultural icon, one day's walking to cultural low point. And I wouldn't mind betting that this ridiculous fence to my left is the edge of their property. Just would amuse me no end, this sort of keep people out attitude that a lot of property dwellers have along the coast path. Fair enough, keeping your land private, but don't imprison yourself. It's a bad message to send, I think. Feeds the fear-mongering. So I deplore the state of 24-hour television. I deplore the state of rolling news. I wish we could go back, we never will of course, to less frequent news programmes, more factual content, and in the case of far too many of them, so much proprietor bias and client journalism bias. One good thing that's happened in the last 2 days is Tucker Carlson's been fired by Fox News, but that's not really the issue with that channel. The whole thing needs to go or to change dramatically. And the rise of this extremist right-wing nonsense is largely down to, in many people's view, to the client journalists that they employ and hire. So, as always on the coast path, you have ample time to think. I knew about these folk living here, and it's sort of good luck to them as people. I'm sure they're perfectly charming, but I don't like what he in particular does on the television right now, and I wish it would stop. Well, an SWCP highlight coming up for me on the 5th day of walking. At last, the first beach huts. They may well only be 3, but beach huts at Talland. I'm delighted.
Once Andy and I left Talland, the rain really came down. In fact, it kept raining all the way through to Looe and beyond. So not a lot of photographs, not a lot of video from this part of the Southwest Coast Path adventure.
Good afternoon, walking fans, because it's been a long time since my last photograph or video, because we've had torrential rain. It's now approaching noon. After stopping off in absolutely torrential rain in West Looe at the Island Cafe, which was a recommend from 2 dog walkers. It was pelting down as we approached. In we went, and to cut a long story short, we met an absolute SWCP legend. So we met an absolute legend, Alex Wallace. Now, Alex is the son of Eric Wallace, OBE, who, with a few other people, is responsible for the final opening of the Southwest Coast Path. So they conceived it and eventually secured 50 years ago the final bit of access through Plymouth dockyards. And there's a memorial to him there, which Andy and me will most definitely visit. So it was a splendid meeting. So the second person I met on this incredible adventure, who's right up there as an SWCP legend. Joe Payne is the other. So Alex Ellis and Joe Payne, 2 legends. Alex, son of the founder, one of the founders of the Southwest Coast Path, and Joe Payne, daughter of Charlie Greenough, one of the crew of the Solomon Brown, who gave his life trying to save the Union Star ship on the 19th of December 1981. So I feel really honoured and privileged to have met these 2 people. What Cornwall needs is affordable housing for locals. We're just outside a place called Seaton, to the east of Looe. By no stretch of the imagination could this be described as local housing. There won't be a single local living in any one of those, unless they're of the millionaire class. Disgraceful. Quite disgraceful. Planning permission should never have been allowed. And that's partly where the problem lies. Greedy councillors. Well, in the way that I've just left Seaton behind, and Downderry, Andy's left me behind. So I've left Downderry behind, and I've just got onto the very beginning of some pretty mighty cliffs, the Batterne Cliffs, which will take me all the way to Portwrinkle, which is about 2.5 miles of this. Quite a serious amount of up to be done, I think. But glorious, glorious. We're getting a break from the rain. It was forecast to last pretty much all day long, and it's not so bad actually, so that's a bit of a result. I'm looking forward to this stretch. I'm looking forward to getting back. It's going to take me maybe an hour and a half. Well, I think I've made it to the top of the Batterne Cliffs, but the visibility is a bit hopeless. So I've no idea if I'm at the highest point yet, but I'm some way up. I'll take a rain check on my mapper. It's all a bit invisible and absolutely glorious because it's very atmospheric. Literally, you can cut it with a knife. Check that. The inevitable barbed wire, of course. That's in my list of top 10 things that I would like to see improved in Britain. Get rid of the bloody stuff. Well, as you can see, visibility up on the Batterne has not improved. Pasture land to my left, hedgification to the right, sound of the sea down way down below. I'm well over 400 feet up here. Somewhat of a shame that it's poor visibility, but like I remarked earlier on, you can't fail but be somewhat awed by the coast path in these parts. At the moment it's failing to awe me. Well, hello Portwrinkle, lovely to see you. Just in the western edge of Portwrinkle, coming up for 4 o'clock, and my song for the day, I'm sticking with Springsteen, simply because of proximity to seeing him, which I mentioned in a previous walk. Bit of style negotiation to do here. And in light of this afternoon's events, the song, Springsteen song, opening song on The Rising, the reunion of the East Band, an absolute cracker. Lonesome Day.